Hello everyone. In our video tutorial for today, we are going to look at variation. And at the end of these lessons, you should be able to solve problems involving a direct, inverse, joint, and partial variation. And also, you'll be able to solve problems on percentage increase and decreases in variation. Now, come to think about it. When we talk of variation, we talk about direct variation, inverse variation, joint variation, partial variation. What is a direct variation? In a direct variation, two quantities varies directly. And in such variation, if one increases, the other will also increase. Now, let's assume we have a value, we have A to be directly proportional to Y. That means as A increases, Y will also what? Increase. And therefore, we'll have this value to have to be A equal to K times Y, where K is a constant of proportionality that have taken away this constant of proportionality. So whenever you talk of inverse direct variation, you should know that two quantities varies directly. While one increases, the other also increases simultaneously. And in a condition where this decreases, the other will also decrease simultaneously. And that is what direct variation is all about. Now, the next term we want to look at is the inverse variation. Now, when we talk of the inverse variation, we should be talking of two quantities too. But this time around, the two quantities varies inversely, with one increases as the other does decreases. While the other decreases, the other value will also do what? Increase. Now, how do we express inverse variation? Inverse variation, when we have A, we can say A varies inversely as 1 over Z. That means as A increases, Z will do what? It decreases because it's inversely proportional. And as A decreases, Z will also do what? Decrease because it is inversely proportional. Now, in this instance, we can come to say, therefore, that A is equal to the constant value multiplied by 1 over Z, where A can now be equal to K over Z, where K is a constant of proportionality that have tend to remove this proportionality sign. So whenever you hear of inverse variation, what should come to your mind is variation in such a way that while a value increases, the other one decreases, and while the other one decreases, this other one will also do what? Will also increase. The next time we want to talk about in variation is the joint variation. Now, what is the joint variation? This variation occurs when a quantity is proportional to two or more quantities. So when a quantity is proportional to two or more other quantities, we can say these quantities are jointly what? Variables. Now, how do we mean? When we have a quantity V becomes jointly proportional to M and H, or we can also say V can become jointly proportional to M over H. Whichever one you see, so long as this value V has become proportional to two or more quantity, it is called a joint variation. And for a joint variation, in this aspect, we can have our V to be equal to constant MH, where K is a constant of proportionality that have replaced this proportionality sign. And in this instance, our V can be equal to Km over H, where this K has replaced the proportionality sign. So when we talk of joint variation, you should come to consider variation that involve two or three or more terms being jointly what? Related. The final part of variation we are going to talk about in this discussion is the partial variation. The partial variation. When two variables are in relation with a formula, or when a variable is related by the sum of two or more variables, this we can say they are in what? Partial variation. So they can be directly, it can be inversely, or it can be partially varied. Now, for instance, we can say T is directly or inversely or jointly a variable with A plus W. Now, this A is the partial constant we are having, the first partial constant we'll be having for this variable. So invariably, we can now say that our T is equal to A, which is the first constant, plus the constant, which will take away the constant of proportionality, times W. So this T will be equal to A plus KW, which is the constant of proportionality. So this will be the relationship holding them, where we have two constants, which is A and K. So in solving partial variation, we will be asked to look for the two constants. This remains the partly constant, while this is a constant due to what? The proportionality sign. So in any question, you will be asked to find the constant of proportionality. Now we're going to consider two questions on this topic that will help us understand the value of this variation, the topic we have just discussed. We are going to look at two or three questions under this topic. Now, the first question we are going to look at is the question on partial variation. We can say there's a question that says x is partly constant and partly varies as y. If x is equal to 45 when y is equal to 10, and x is equal to 87 when y is equal to 24, find the formula connecting x and y. B, find x when y is equal to 18. Now, if we want to find this solution, we are told that x is partly constant, and partly varies as y. Now, this remains a constant of proportionality, which is the partial constant. So this is going to give us our x to be equal to A plus ky, while the k is our constant of proportionality. So the A and the k remains the constant of proportionality. Now in that question, we are first given the value that our x is equal to 45 and our y, when our y is equal to 10. And then we are asked to we are also given the value that x is equal to 87 when y is equal to 24. And finally, we are asked to find the formula connecting them. And then we are asked to find y when y is equal to what? 18. So we are going to look at this solution and then we'll use this to solve this value. Remember that the equation will have x equal to a plus ky. Now let's solve this, putting these values into the parameters. The first values we are given 45, which is equal to a, which is constant, plus k, which is constant, times 10. And that will give us the first equation. In the next second equation, we are given our x to be 87, which is equal to a plus the y is 24, and that will give us 24y, and that will be equation 2. So we have two equations, and what are those two equations? The two equations are 45 equal to a plus 10k, that's equation 1, and then we'll have 87 equal to a plus 24k, which is equation 2. Now we're going to solve this equation simultaneously. To solve this equation simultaneously, we are going to solve it using the elimination method. To solve this question, we are going to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. To subtract equation 1 from equation 2, we are going to have 87 minus 45, that will give us 42, and then this minus a will give us 0. And then we'll now finally have 24 minus 10 to give us 14k. So in this aspect, we'll be having 14k to be equal to 42. So our k will be equal to 42 divided by 14, which will be equal to 3. So the first constant we will have is what? 3. The next thing we will do is to substitute the value of k, which is equal to 3, in order to find in any of these equations, in order to find the value of a. So let's take 45. If we take 45, let's take 45. We'll take 45 equal to a plus 10k. So we'll substitute the value of k equal to 3 into this. So we'll have our 45 to be equal to a plus 10 multiplied by 3. So this will give us 45 to be equal to a plus 30. If this comes over here, we'll have our a to be equal to 40 minus 30. And then our a will be equal to 15. So having gotten our a to be 15 and our k to be equal to 3, we have our a to be equal to 15 and our k to be equal to 3. The equation connecting them from here will now be x equal to 15 plus 3y. So this is the equation connecting x and y. Having gotten this relationship between x and y, the next thing we will now do is to find the value of x when y is equal to 16. Y is equal to 18, they said we are asked to find x. So putting that value into that relationship connecting these two values, we'll have our x to be equal to 15 plus 3 multiplied by 18. And that will give us 15 plus 3 times 18 will give us 54. So our x will be equal to 15 plus 54. That will give us 15 plus 54. That will give us 69. So the value for x is equal to 69. Now, this is a typical example of a question in partial variation. We're now going to consider another part of variation, and we are going to look at another seamless question. And what is the question we're going to look at this time around? This question this time around is going to be on direct variation. Now, the question says, if y varies directly as the square root of n and y is equal to 4 when n is equal to 4, find y when n is equal to 1 whole number 7 over 9. Now, let's try this question. You can also be given some similar questions like this. The question says, if y varies directly as square root of n. Now, this will give us our y to be equal to k times square root of n. So, having given that, we are given our y to be equal to 4, and then our n is equal to 4. And we are asked to find y when n is equal to 1 whole number 7 over 9. So the first thing we are going to do is to find the relationship holding y and n. So we are going to slot in the value of y and n into this equation. So we'll have our 4 to be equal to k times square root of 4. Square root of 4 is going to give us 2. So we have 4 to be equal to 2k. To find the value of k, k will now be equal to 4 divided by 2, that will be equal to 2. So having gotten our k to be equal to 2, the next thing we need to do is to find the relationship holding x and y. So that means our y is equal to 2 square root of n. The next thing we are asked to find, which is the relationship holding y and n. We are now hence asked to find the value of y when n is 1 whole number 7 over 9. So if we want to do that, we'll have our n to be equal to 1 whole number 7 over 9, which is equal to 9 times 1 is 9 plus 7. That will give us 16 over 9. So if we want to do that, our y value will be equal to 2 multiplied by the square root of 16 over 9. So our y will be equal to 2 multiplied by square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4 and square root of 9 is 3. So this will be equal to 4 times 3 will give us 8 over 3. So this is the value of y. So when our n is equal to this value, our y will be equal to 8 over 3. So these are the typical examples you see when solving questions on variation. These are the two questions, the two samples we'll be taking. I'll be flashing 3 or 4 examples which are past questions that you can try. And as you try this question, don't forget to drop your answers at the description section, the comment section of this video, so that we can discuss further from there. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel in order to get a continuous solutions of our videos once they are published.